guys, how's it going? Super B 1996 here, and today I've got a Final Fantasy 15 discussion video. And today what I'm going to be talking about is quite an interesting little thing which I've noticed and a lot of other Final Fantasy fans have also noticed. That is on the topic of how much Final Fantasy 15 has changed since its initial announcement trailer back in E3 2013. Now, I know I just said announcement trailer. Technically, the trailer shown at E3 2013 was an announcement trailer because it announced Final Fantasy 15. It wasn't the first trailer of the game, really, technically, but you get what I mean. And clearly, there is a lot of stuff that has changed since then and now. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind, I think this was mentioned before in an interview somewhere or somewhat, that the build that we all saw in E3 2013 was in fact just a prototype build. Like, it was built in a completely different engine just to kind of test out how the game works and stuff like that. I think it was a prototype version of the Luminous engine. Don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure. I think it was a completely different engine, but that was what the game was back then. But I'm just gonna talk about some of the differences that I personally noticed, just some of the nitty gritty details, etc. So, one of the first things I noticed, and it's only a little thing, but comparing Final Fantasy 15 to now to back then, the camera's slightly different. Now, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but the characters look a little bit more zoomed out, which I prefer that any time of the week. Little things like UI changes are also noticeable. There's really slight differences, really. In terms of the graphics, they look pretty much on par, but they still look kind of different. Now, what I mean by different is it still looks like an early build. That build that we saw in E3 2013 looks like a small build, but stuff like the Behemoth, I think it was the Behemoth in the trailer, I'm pretty sure it was. He looks a lot less detailed in my opinion compared to how he looks in the Episode Cascade demo. Well, I know there's more than one, but it's just a little graphics comparison thing, really. There's some slight change, like when Noctis targets onto an enemy at some point in the trailer, like when he teleports to him, like what you can do in Episode Cascade in the version 2.0, mind you, you can like lock onto an enemy and kind of warp strike them. That in the E3 2013 demo definitely looks a lot different to how it looks. Like, it's just these little differences I've noticed. Like, there's a massive difference in the target, how the target looks, and stuff like that. What makes me wonder is, like, all the stuff that we saw in the E3 2013 trailer all looks polished. Well, it doesn't look polished, but it looks like there was a lot of the game done. Like, you had the whole like attack sequence in the city and the Leviathan and stuff like that. Makes me wonder whether that is still fully in the game or whether that's just still a prototype thing. Like I say, we don't really know. But really, most of the characters look exactly the same, apart from King Regis, who had his old design in the trailer, which I noticed. Other than that, like, it's obviously the E3 2013 version of the game clearly looks, I don't know, part of me thinks that the E3 2013 demo or the trailer that we saw actually looks better than what we've got now, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I like the way how the camera looks, and I like some of the UI and stuff like that. I mean, the UI is not too different, to be fair, to be brutally honest. It's not too different, but it's just like these little things in the E3 2013 trailer which I definitely hope is still in the game. There's some other little details, like graphical details and stuff like that. But to be fair, this was a prototype build. Well, supposedly was a prototype build. It doesn't look like much has changed. We'll be able to do like a full-blown comparison on this when the game finally comes out, and we can actually compare the trailer and the gameplay side by side. That'll be something I'll definitely do when the game comes out, and then we can see for ourselves exactly how much has changed. But you know, it's just these little tiny bits and pieces that have really changed, like the UI. But other than that, not too much has changed. Well, it has changed, obviously, but right, that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, favourite, all that good stuff. Leave your comments down below on what you think about this. And yeah, I shall speak to you all later on.